I want to share an experience from our own personal life. So when we were building Christ Worship Center Church, when this church construction was going on, as you all know, the budget was huge. The budget was huge. The need was huge. We were just praying, looking to God, trying to think about every possible way we can literally empty ourselves so that we can use everything we had to construct this church. So at that point, whatever God was giving us, we were not buying any clothes. I didn't buy any clothes for the Christmas. I was only wearing the clothes that somebody gifted to me. No shopping, even for the children. We were like spending very minimum, trying to save all the money so we can use it for the church construction. So at that point, one day, a pastor from a village came to meet my husband. So when he came to meet John Wesly garu, so he went into the office room. When he started talking, the pastor said, John Wesly garu, I am building a small church in my village and I came to ask you for help. So look at this. Now we are constructing a big church here. We need lakhs of rupees here. We need more than lakhs of rupees. We have a huge need, and now this pastor comes from a village and he is looking for help. And at that point, John Wesly garu just prayed and asked God, God, what should I do? And God said, whatever amount you have in your bank account, just write a check and give it to him. So you need more faith, right? When you have surplus and God asks you to give a little, it's easy. But when you have little, you have a huge need, God asks you to give everything you have to somebody else who is in need, it needs a lot of faith. So John Wesly garu came into the house and he gave that check to the pastor, prayed for the pastor, sent him away. So after he came into the house, I asked him, what did you do? So he said, God told me to give everything we have in the bank account. I wrote a check and gave it to him. I simply smiled. I didn't say anything. I simply smiled, and we were happy that we did what God wanted us to do. And after a few days, to our surprise, one stranger whom we had never met, he sent a really big check. It was almost 10 times the amount that we gave to the pastor who was building a church in a village. When we saw the check, we were shocked. We were amazed because that was the biggest check we have ever received in our ministry until then. So can someone whom we have never met send such a big support for this church construction? Then we realized that the seed we sowed in somebody else's life came back to us and we reaped a greater harvest. Let me tell you one thing, my dear brothers and sisters. If you become an answer to prayer in somebody else's life, God will answer your prayers. And the measure you use for others is the measure that God will use for you.